only ever been done twice. I mean, think about that. And that was, I think these awards have been around for a while as well. I think these awards have been around since about the 50s. I'm talking about, oh god, I'm trying to remember them. It's the New York Film, I'm just going to get them wrong. But there's 4 big critical awards in America. And basically, Schindler's List became the first film to win all 4, and then, easily won Best Picture. And the second film to do so was LA Confidential. Now, at the time, LA Confidential had this kind of early award season hype, and it won all 4 of these big critics awards. I think everyone thought it was just guaranteed to win Best Picture because of this, including I was too young to know them, but when I look back and I was like, wow, how did it not win? But Titanic got this kind of just in the right time. It really got this kind of hype going for it, and it won the Producers Guild and the Directors Guild, and all of a sudden the tides turned. Very reminiscent of this year. Social Network became only the 3rd film to win all 4 Big Critics Awards. It got the Golden Globe. People are saying it's a shoo-in. Spoke too soon. King's Speech has now swept in this past month, looking more and more likely to win the Best Picture prize. It's taken the Directors Guild Award, the Producers Guild Award. It's winning it won Best Cast as well at the Producers Guild, so usually quite 50-50 indicator of Best Picture success. And we'll get onto that in a minute anyway. But yeah, so Social Network, I'm giving 20%. I think David Fincher though is going to win Best Director. I don't know why I think that, because there's not usually a split between picture and director, but I just got a feeling this year it's going to be split. I think I'll move on to I don't think Tom Hooper is I don't think King's Speech is the most cinematic film I've ever seen. It's kind of thing, if I turned that on, it was on Channel 4, I'd be, it was a gripping film, don't get me wrong, but I would think, this is a very, very well made for TV drama. It could have been a lot more visually interesting for certain, whereas Fincher ironically takes something that could well have been a TV-esque kind of vibe and turns it into a really defining piece of cinema. You turn the Social Network on TV, that's a film immediately. So I just think for that reason, it's kind of like Shakespeare in Love's directed. I don't think had a real chance winning Best Director, and I think David Fincher is going to win Best Director. However, we go on now to the King's Speech, which I've given a 45% chance of winning Best Picture. That's pretty indicative. What? Don't know what I'm saying there. Not even going to try and say that word. Basically, King's Speech, I think, has got it covered. Got these tracks covered. 45%. So that's a 1 in 2 chance. That's pretty much a guarantee, really. It's very much a front runner. It's got the Director and Producers Guild Awards. And now, 15 films have won the Director and Producers Guild Awards. Only 3 didn't go on to then win Best Picture. I think 2 of them, I know for certain, Brokeback Mountain was one, and that was really a huge shock on the night. I mean, can you picture when Brokeback Mountain has won the Directors Guild Award, the Producers Guild Award, and on the big night it wins Best Director, and then suddenly in Best Picture it's Crash, and everyone sort of went a bit berserk. It's like, what's going on? I haven't seen Crash, so I can't really comment. Brokeback Mountain, it was a mature film, well done. It didn't do much for me. I found it a bit heavy-handed, but that was a bit of a big shock that year. So yeah, and then another one of these films, Apollo 13, which surprised me, because when I thought of Braveheart winning Best Picture, I was too young to follow the Oscars then, but I always assumed Braveheart had taken that award. I always thought it was the front runner anyway. I didn't realise Apollo 13 had this huge hype going into it. It won loads of huge and important awards. I was quite surprised at that, because I never knew Apollo 13 was that critically acclaimed, at least at the time anyway. So yeah, it's got these 2 huge indicators going in. I mean, 3 out of 15. That's so 12 films that have won those before to win Best Picture. Harvey Weinstein, of course, is leading the film's cause. For those who don't know about Harvey Weinstein and the Weinstein brothers, pretty much just awesome promoters. They can take, they could take a bag and film a bag, like in the. Remember the film in American Beauty where he films the bag and does that long drivel about I forgot what he talked about. That the quirky kind of character in American Beauty films that. Remember that scene where he filmed the bag? The Weinsteins could have taken that film about the bag and got it nominated for Best Picture. I'm pretty certain of it, and made that bag a huge star. They just are the kind of, they just know what they're doing. They play the game really well. They can take a low budget film, get lots of people to watch it. They work tirelessly in building hype around a film, making it look like a Best Picture winning film. And let's just look at their track record. Good Will Hunting, this kind of quirky indie drama, makes huge stars out of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They won the Best Original Screenplay, been stars ever since. I mean, you know, they'd been in stuff before that, but this really took them to that next main event level. English Patient, a low-budget film, completely swept the board at the Oscars, defeating Fargo, which is... I mean, English Patient, Anthony Minghella, rest in peace. Big fan of a lot of his work. English Patient is one of the most drivelous... again, I'm not sure that's... I'm inventing words on this podcast today. One of the biggest kind of... gives me a headache just thinking about it. Let's not talk about English Patient. But that was... I completely lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, sorry. So you know, you get the English Patient, and then of course, Shakespeare in Love was the huge upset. We were talking earlier about Brokeback Mountain and Crash. This was arguably an even bigger upset than that, Saving Private Ryan. That's the film that it defeated. Steven Spielberg Saving Private Ryan. Harvey Weinstein. Most films, when they're campaigning, of course, a lot of people forget that the Oscars are supposed to be, you know, rewarding the best films and, you know, high art, and yet, you know, they're not adverse at all to people trying any means necessary to promote themselves and their films through magazines and chat shows, and it is in a way a bit of a popularity contest, and the Weinsteins have got that covered. I mean, most producers will spend about $2 million hyping up a film in the Oscar month, and I think Harvey Weinstein spent $5 million just on promotional material for Shakespeare in Love. It paid off. It won Best Picture, and I think it won about, I don't know, it won a lot of Oscars that year anyway. I think it won 6, 7 maybe. The other film, of course, was Chicago. I'm still boggled. It boggles me that film would beat The Pianist for Best Picture. The Pianist, in my money, is one of the greatest films ever made, and certainly one of the best war films ever made. One of the only films to really take the Holocaust subject matter and just treat it brilliantly with a real open-minded perspective, and just showing that so many war films forget to show that the real enemy of war is war, and The Pianist just awesome job with that. Just a phenomenal film. Lost to Chicago. Chicago, it was good fun. It was kind of a Friday night film. Very forgetful, very fun, but very forgetful. That's what I can say about it, really. We've got the Weinstein. This is the Harvey Weinstein factor. He knows how to get a film to win Best Picture. He's done it 3 times before. I think he's going to do it again. The film also has these sort of doses of sentimentality, which the Academy love. It's got this kind of, this overcoming adversity, all that kind of stuff. And they seem to love all that. And it's got a great historical record, biopics. Let's think about the record, Amadeus, and it's just lots and lots of biopics. Chariots of Fire, Lawrence of Arabia, Gandhi, Braveheart, Beautiful Mind, The Last Emperor. They're a sucker for biopics. They're a sucker especially for costume drama biopics. And overcoming adversity, obviously, Rain Man, Forrest Gump. It's got kind of a good mixture of all the things going for it to win Best Picture this year. So I've given The King's Speech 45% chance of winning. The thing is, this year with all 10 nominees is, I wouldn't mind any of them really. I liked all of them. The thing with Inception, I'm really torn because I thought it was such a bad screenplay in many ways, even though it was a really good idea. I think it was so poorly written. Characters just talking at each other, like giving each other information. There was no kind of character-driven dialogue at any point. It was what's his name? Harvey Cobb would talk a bit of information at one character, and they'd talk a bit of information back, and it just honestly gave me a headache. It didn't seem to have the patience to sort of just let the visuals tell the story. And I found that really kind of irritating. Although, on the other hand, I sort of really admire its imagination. I think